I'm telling you they pull, I'm telling you. Here we are on Lake Stockton, fishing with a real good friend of mine, Marvin Yarnell. Look what a white bass.
Ain't that a dandy?
I'm telling you, he's something. No telling what you're gonna catch on Lake Stockton. We're gonna go out today and we're just gonna fish and we're gonna catch whatever will bite. It really don't make any difference. We're gonna fish these wind-blown points. We may catch some smallmouth. We may get some largemouth. Who knows, we may catch a big white bass.
And also today, we'll get some sound advice on enjoying the great outdoors year-round.
Well, I woke up this morning, it's 5 degrees below zero. Phew. You ever thought how hard it is to stay warm when it's 5 degrees below zero, let alone outdoors hunting or fishing? I'll tell you, I got some information today that I think will be real helpful to you to show you how to stay warm, and not only stay warm, but enjoy it. So stay with me. I'm Hank Parker.
1, 2, 3, 4. The house needs painting, the grass needs mowing. Where's he at?
Hi, this is Hank. Sorry I missed your call. Leave me your name and your number and I'll get back to you.
He's gone fishing.
This is Hank Parker's Outdoor Magazine, featuring the first sportsman to win both the Bassmasters Classic and the title Bass Angler of the Year, Hank Parker.
Marvin, I guess what we ought to do is go out here and get on this ridge. What you got here, you know, we fished this thing last year and did pretty well with the smallmouth. This ridge actually extends out, just like you see this bluff here coming from the dam. It's a ridge that extends on out in here in the water and comes out about 300 or 400 yards out from the shore. It's a high place, about 14 feet deep, falls right off into the immediate channel with your dam here. Smallmouth should be up on the lip, but they could be really anywhere. Last year we caught them halfway in. So.
Yeah, actually that's a hump that comes out and turns and comes across the front of this thing, and those smallmouth hang right up on that hump, and those Kentuckys do too.
That's a lot of fun. I really like structure fishing. You know, it's enjoyable, and probably the majority of my fishing is fishing at targets that you see on the shoreline.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy fishing, getting out here with a chart recorder and a depth finder and marking your ledges and your humps and your ridges and putting a marker out on it and fishing underwater structure.
This lake has lots of underwater structure in it, and some of it is recorded, but most of it isn't.
Right.
There's a lot of ponds and a lot of little pond dams and things that are in here that aren't on any maps, and it's amazing how much fish that you find on those things once you locate them. There's even old cemeteries.
Oh, I missed that fish. That fish was up on that ridge, did the same thing, hit the bait and drop it.
Yeah.
Then you're saying there's probably a lot of ridges out here in Lake Stockton that a guy with a depth finder or a chart recorder could go out and find that you're not necessarily going to find on a map.
Yeah, they're just not on any map, unless you mark your own map and put them on there. And of course, there's a lot of guys do that, especially when they catch the lake down, catch it low.
Well, it's low right now, isn't it?
This time of year, where it's only about 8 feet low right now, the lowest it's ever been was 17 1/4. So, one time it was a lot lower than this.
17 1/4. This would almost be out of the water, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you could see it when the water's clear. Yeah, of course this lake is clear anyway, but you can see that hump.
There's a hit. There was a hit before he ate it up.
He got on it, didn't he?
He got on it.
Yes, sir, he did.
Now that fish, a little smallmouth.
Brownie. Yeah.
How about that? I love it.
Little smallmouth.
I love it.
Well, they sure get mad when you catch them, don't they?
I mean, they don't like that at all, do they? He ate that pork chop, though. Boy, they're pretty. They are beautiful fish.
Yeah.
I made that cast. I threw out there. That fish had that bait. From the time it hit the water, I picked up on it. Check him again. I thought it could have been on. I picked up on it. I thought that could have been hung. I felt him, and he felt me, and let it go, and then came right back on it. Got it again.
Come on, brown bass. It's time. thought he picked it up on the way down. I believe he did. Maybe. No, he didn't. He's not there.
You know, it's amazing how I catch so many little fish and miss so many big fish. I'll go out and catch 2 or 3 10-inchers and miss 4, 5, 8-pounders on the same hole. It works that way. I fished a guy in a tournament one time. We went to a little area he had a lot of confidence in. He was telling me about all these big fish he was catching in the area, and I was wanting to leave. I wasn't very impressed with her, and he threw out there with a crankbait, and just as we were getting ready to leave, and hooked a fish, and it broke his line. He said, man, that was a giant. So he wanted to stay, so we stayed a little while, and we were there about 2 or 3 more minutes. That fish, about a 6-inch fish, come up and tried to throw the crankbait. I said, there's your giant. Let's go.
There's a giant.
Well, somebody else is going to do a little fishing. Now, what are they fishing for, Marvin? Now, walleye or?
Looks like they're going to troll. They're probably going to troll for some white bass.
Oh, I see. Is this an area where they've been catching some white bass?
Yes, it is.
Had that drag loose. Feels like
You still got him on though, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I didn't get a good hook in him. I don't know, he may come on.
Brownie.
Let's get that drag.
Yeah.
Brown
He ate
fish.
that little brownie. Brown jig, didn't he?
I love it. I love it. You know, a fish like that just really feels good down there 20 feet deep. You
Yeah.
think you got something
He sure
really
does.
giant.
What's the only time?
Well, they're pretty fish, though, you know?
Yeah, they are.
Pretty fish. Fixing to get another bite here in a minute, so you just hang on.
We'll catch up with Hank and his guest a little later. But first, some hot tips for that cold weather.
You know, I got a hunting buddy. No matter how cold it gets, he never wears any additional clothing. Right, Knight? Good boy. You know, but for the rest of us, we have to prepare for this kind of weather.
Are you fishing trilene again?
You bet. I always do.
Oh, there he is. He's in a brush.
Most big-name professional tournament winners fish trilene. Trilene has a thin diameter, casts well, and is up to 20% stronger than other leading lines. You can really lean on mean trilene. Berkeley Trilene, America's extra strong premium monofilament.
It's hard to believe a line that thin can be so strong.
The revolutionary fish formulas are used by the world's best fishermen. Enough said?
At last, the ultimate in fish finding technology. Hummingbird's LCR liquid crystal recorder. The depth sounder that bridges the gap between flashers and charts, combining the best features of both. Now the most advanced concepts in sonar are combined with state-of-the-art microcomputer innovations to bring boaters and fishermen more features and more fish-finding versatility than any other depth sounder on the market. LCR, the creation of a new generation from Humminbird.
There are 3 ways you can try moving closer to these fish. With a gas outboard, with a noisy electric, or with a quiet Minn Kota electric. To a fisherman, the choice is black and white. Minn Kota, the quiet power that catches fish.
Now, the basic requirement to stay warm is long john. Everybody's got to start out with some long john. Now that applies for deer hunting, duck hunting, or fishing, or whatever. You start with a long john. Now for me, I found that it's a lot easier to stay warm and enjoy the outdoors when I'm wearing layers rather than just one thick, heavy garment, whether it be goose down or whatever. So I like to wear a lot of different clothes. I start with my long johns, and then I go to regular pants, whether it be blue jeans. Blue jeans are awful warm. A lot of times I'll wear blue jeans or some type of khaki pants, and then I always have some kind of pants to go over that. Now this is a unique pair of pants. They're insulated. They're not as thick and bulky as some, but they're waterproof. And it's also windproof, and that's very important, especially when you're duck hunting or riding in a boat, because the wind penetrates the clothing. I don't care how much clothing you got on it, though. If you don't stop the wind and block the wind, then you're going to get cold. So that's a unique pair of clothing to wear if you're not going to be wearing waders. I also have the top for that, and I wear them usually on rainy days. And it's insulated again, and it's big enough, and that's something that I do when I'm in the wintertime. I buy loose-fitting clothes. I buy big enough clothes that I can put them on over several other garments, and they're loose-fitting. So that applies when it's windy or when it's real cold and you're not wearing your waders. Now, if I'm going to wear my waders, then I put on a pair of pants underneath the waders that are not waterproof. It doesn't matter if it's raining or whatever, because then the waders themselves will protect me from the wind and also the rain. Now these are goose down. That's the warmest material that there is. You know, a lot of people have talked about Dacron and Thinsulate material, which is very warm material, but it really isn't anything that I've found as warm as goose down. And I wear that underneath my waders. Now let me tell you a tip about waders. Get as good insulated, as thick insulated waders as you can. I have found waders that are insulated on the bottom are much warmer than waders that are insulated on the top. Make sure they have a good felt liner in them. And then I wear my waders at least 2 sizes bigger than my shoe size. Now you can see that. They're huge, but they'll go over all my clothing, and then if I do happen to turn the boat over, if I do fall out, or if I do step in water deeper than my waders, I can get out of them, and that's critical. If you step in over your waders and they're tight-fitting, then you're just gone. So that's pretty well, and one thing that I left out that's very important is you gotta have some good socks. I usually wear 2 pair of these real thick wick dry socks. When I say wick, what they are is they're a wax-coated sock that's a material that does not absorb water that's next to your feet, or doesn't absorb perspiration. That way it keeps your feet dry and your feet will stay warm. Now one thing about it, when you dress with all of these clothing and you go to put out your decoys or you're walking to the blind, you can get awful hot and start to perspire. When you do that, you get cold. So you put all these clothes on to stay warm, keep them well ventilated until you get into the area where you're going to hunt or where you're going to fish. Keep it open. And then when you get there, then you zip up and tighten up and stop all the air leaks. Now that pretty well covers duck hunting. Now let's go to deer hunting. You know, there is one thing I forgot in duck hunting. I can't believe it. The most important thing, and that's my mask. I always wear that mask when I'm traveling, when I'm going in by boat in the morning before I start. I can't hunt out of it. I can't shoot out of it. And it's very uncomfortable to wear all day hunting. But the gloves, the mittens, and the mask are essential for transportation in the boat. So I always use those. I use those duck hunting. I use them fishing. I use them deer hunting. Now deer hunting is different from duck hunting. You got to be able to move around in your stand. Usually, as you see here, I got my tree stand. Usually I'm up 15, 20, 25 feet up in a tree, and of course the wind blows and it's cold, but a lot of times you'll have a deer come up behind you, and you have to be able to turn. A deer can hear. You can't wear clothes, make a lot of noise. So I always use something like a goose down vest, but when I wear a goose down vest, then I'll put something over it like a wool sweater. Something that you can move in, it won't make any noise, and you can turn on the deer or do whatever you need to do. Or a chamois cloth shirt. I always wear this as a neat item because I'll get a shirt that's maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times too big, and then no matter what kind of clothing I have on, if it's real cold and I have to wear some goose down that makes some noise, then I can put this chamois cloth shirt over the top of it, and that works out real neat. Bow hunting is different from gun hunting. Bow hunting, you know that deer's got to be close, and you know you have to be absolutely quiet. So I won't even wear clothes underneath that make noise. I wear cotton stuff, all cotton, real quiet, easy to move. Oh, wait a minute, there is one more thing, and probably the most important. and that's your boots. Well, one thing about deer hunting, when you're in the stand, you got to have some warm boots, but it's awful aggravating if you got to walk a long way. You may want to start out in a pair of boots like I have on here, which is a good insulated boot, but it's comfortable to walk in. You don't have any problems walking through the woods. These boots are a lot more bulky and a lot more difficult to walk, but they'll keep your feet a lot warmer. Last but not least, we'll talk about fishing. You know, fishing is a little bit different from the hunting. I try and be just a little bit more fashionable when I'm fishing. Still, you go to the basics, you long johns, and again, I do fishing a lot like I do when I'm deer hunting. I wear layers of clothing, whereas if it warms up during the day, you know, when you take off in the mornings and it's cold, as it warms up, I can take some of the layers off as I get warmer and still have adequate clothing to continue fishing the rest of the day. One thing that never leaves my boat, there's two things that never leave my boat besides my rods and my tackle boxes, and that's rain gear. And rain gear can not only be effective when it's raining outside, but it can also be very effective in keeping you warm. You know, we drive these boats 50 and 60 miles an hour, and that will keep you warm and break the wind under those kind of speeds. So I always have a rain gear, a rain suit, pants, and a top, and I'll wear that when it's cold and I need something for a good windbreaker. And again, I don't go anywhere without my trusty old mask. Isn't much to look at, but I'll guarantee you won't believe how warm that'll keep you when you're going down a lake 50 or 60 miles an hour. Then I have my mittens. I always use some goose down mittens. You know, mittens are a lot warmer than gloves, by the way, so I always wear mittens when I'm driving the boat. Of course, you can't wear them when you're fishing, but I wear a little cotton glove on both hands, and I can still feel it. You know, you still got good sensitivity in your rods, and you can still feel that with these little cotton gloves, and it'll help keep you warm. And then I just wear my regular goose down coat, and I like overalls, bib type overalls filled with goose down for cold weather fishing. A lot of people wear the burr suits or the whole suit. I prefer to wear the bib overalls and the top. I think I can stay warmer like that, and it's a lot more comfortable. It doesn't hurt your back or bind you as bad. So that's some good fishing paraphernalia. And I always wear me some kind of sweatshirt or wear some type of sweatshirt underneath my clothes, and then again, when it warms up, you can just kind of take them off and still have something to keep you warm. I think these tips will really help you stay warm. Try it next time you go out and it's cold like it is today. Whew.
Next, we'll rejoin Hank and Marvin Yarnell fishing for white bass.
The jigging pig and the plastic worm. You know, it's two of the most popular baits on the market today. And there's probably 100 different plastic worms and jigs available, but two of my favorite are man's augertail, the worm that swims in the middle, the flipping waggler, a plastic worm that has more action on the fall than any bait I've ever used, and Stanley's tricolored jig trail with man's auger frog. Probably the deadliest big fish combination available. Now, I've put these lures together along with the Fenwick 20 satchel box to make them available to you on a Hank Parker Outdoor Magazine special offer. Let me show you what I put together. The Fenwick 20 has an amber lid that is see-through. You have adjustable dividers and positive drawdown latches making the box waterproof. We have two 20 packs of man's flipping wagglers, two 20 packs of FS 454 coated augertail worms, two Stanley jigs, one with a Magnum flipping hook, the other with a lightweight casting hook for light line use, and a pack of auger frog trailers, my favorite trailer. This is the finest fishing value I know of anywhere today.
Hank's lure pack and tackle box can be yours for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Send check, money order, or call toll-free.
Order yours today. That's an amazing sight. You know, I've seen thousands of deer in my life, but it always just amazes me. I love to watch them. You know, it's something we started out to do a show, and several people got fishing shows on the market today. But what we try to do is just set out and kind of capture some of the feelings that you get just being out here. You know, it's great. You're out here in the fall of the year and you got the weather, and it's just something about being able to get out and go fishing. I don't have to catch 100 fish, or I don't even have to catch a fish to enjoy it. In some way, we want to be able to capture that and pass that on to our viewers. You got a fish? Yep. I ain't believing this. We got a double. I don't know if I'm over you or under you. What you got? You got a white bass?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a white.
I got a smallmouth. Can you believe this? A double. Boy, that's a big old white bass.
Is that dandy?
That looks kind of like a high.
That little old buzz bass.
Man, boy, this is a dark fish here. Golly, man, look how dark this fish is.
Yeah.
Pretty fish.
That's
pretty fish.
Yeah.
All right.
I think he's got some brothers right here.
A double, a smallmouth, and a white bass. He hit way out. That's pretty neat, just stop on a point and first cast, double up.
Two fish.
I gotta get on, I might get serious and get out of my life jacket now. Marvin, I tell you, we made a little move over here to see the deer and see a little activity on the point and pull up and catch a smallmouth, and you catch two big white bass on me, double up. It's a little bit different type structure here. These banks are not as sharp as drops as what they were down by the dam that we were fishing up.
No, they're not as deep water. And of course, that wind's blowing right in on these points, and that's why these whites are in here feeding on these shad.
Is that fairly common to catch the white and the smallmouth together like that?
Yeah, they do run together some. Those smallmouth feed on shad too, and they get right in there and eat right with those white bass.
Right. That's weird. That's a total different type pattern, you know, than what we were fishing the smallmouth before.
There he is. There he is.
Marvin, I think these fish moved out a little bit.
That's one of those good
further out
ones
from the
too.
shore. God.
Look at that, he saw the boat and went away. There he comes.
Come here, boy.
That's one of those good ones.
That is a good one. Man, they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, while you're...
Ease him back in there and let him grow up. He'd like getting back in that water. Talk to me, Marvin. What have you done?
I was talking about cooking a turkey. I think I got a fish.
Not on a buzzbait, surely.
Ah, yes, sir. How about that?
Boy, that's a pretty.
Here,
that's
Biggie.
about the third one of those big dudes you caught on the buzzbait.
Yep. Them things really smack that too. They fight good. They're as much fun to catch as about anything you want to catch.
I guarantee you, sound like a largemouth.
Yep.
Pretty fish.
We'll just eat him. Just put him alive then.
Boy, that's a good one. They fight, I'm telling you what, these fish really pull.
These white bass are good fighters. They
I
really
mean,
are.
this is not even one of those big ones. He's foul hooked, that makes it.
Yeah, that makes them.
Yeah, it was one of the smaller ones, but he was really doing it. I'll tell you what, you can't beat it. Marvin, I got an idea. Let's go back and look at those special pets you got and show these viewers something that they've never seen before. How's that sound?
You mean my pets there at the dock?
Your pets there at the dock.
Yeah.
Hey, don't go away. We got something really exciting for you coming up. Stay with us.
At Ranger, people are important. People like Garland Hurst and Randy Hopper that have helped build every boat. That kind of experience is hard to beat. Because we fish, We listen to our friends who own Ranger boats. Their ideas frequently are the best ones. Most of our boats are still being used, and we've been building them over 15 years. That Ranger quality goes into each boat we build, one boat at a time.
Hank Parker's Outdoor Magazine, where each week Hank Parker, one of America's finest sportsmen, will take you on an entertaining journey into the great outdoors. Join Hank and his friends for some of the finest fishing this side of heaven, and meet some of the world's most amazing animals to boot. Hank Parker's Outdoor Magazine. Now don't you go away. Hank will be right back.
Go for it with Ryobi. Tough, dependable reels for any kind of fishing. Ryobi. There's never been a better reason to go fishing.
It's cool running up that lake. Fast this boat run.
Kind of brisk.
Yes, sir. This ain't gonna move.
See.
Get right along.
Man, that was a good day. I really enjoyed that. Are the fish usually on the points like that, the white bass this time of year?
Yeah, they
Is that
usually
pretty
are,
common?
Hank. Right on them points where the winds are blowing in on them.
Boy, that's really
Usually
something.
pretty tight.
I really enjoyed it.
Old dog always meets me to come in.
Is that your pet? Is that your, where's the special? Let me get this little life jacket off. Where's those special pets you was telling me about?
You haven't seen my pets, have you?
No, I hadn't.
Right here by the no fishing sign. Look at there.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's bass, isn't it?
Yeah, that's bass. You ever feed a fish?
No, I never feed.
Well,
Can you
this-
feed them?
Sometimes they'll eat. They're just kind of like your kids. They have to eat too, you know.
Yeah.
Come here,
That is
Biggin.
unreal, man. There's some Kentucky's in there, isn't it?
Yeah, some of them are spotted. Back magic. Look here now.
Magic's wanting some food.
Look at
Are
that.
you kidding me?
Here you go, big boy. Here, you want another bite?
Are you believing this? This is unreal. Marvin, thank you, buddy. I really enjoyed it. It's been a great day. I really appreciate you having me.
Thank you, Hank. We're sure glad to have you here.
Thank you for being with me today. God bless you. I'm Hank Parker. Let me try that again.
There you go. They cut him right by the tail. You got him? Take it right down to the water. He'll come out of there. Yeah, little one did.
Hank Parker's Outdoor Magazine, sponsored by Fish Formula. We fool Mother Nature. Humminbird Depth Sounders. Minn Kota, quiet power catches fish. Ranger boats, we still build them one at a time. Ryobi, there's never been a better reason to go fishing. And by Trilene, extra strong.
The house needs painting, the grass needs mowing. Where's he at?
Hank, this is Tom. You told me to call you when they're biting. They're biting.
Gone fishing.